Okay, we are live. Welcome, Enlightened Voices. Thank you for all the beautiful men and women tuning in. Everybody looking to cultivate healthy personal and professional relationships. Let's transform our mind and life together. We are here today with the host, Desmond Black of Sippin and Tippin podcast. We are going to be giving all the entrepreneurs some motivation today because I know me as an entrepreneur, I could use just a little bit myself. So,
Right.
Des, I'm gonna open the floor up to you so you can give yourself your proper flowers.
Well, probably. Oh, you put me right on the spot. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I am currently working on establishing my small business with the food truck industry. I'm a chef. I've been in the restaurant industry for 18 years. The last 7 years, I was a kitchen manager. I'm a podcaster. I love to motivate people. I like to encourage people. I like to enlighten people. I specifically talk about like mental health and the Black community, things of that nature. But I talk about a various sorts of different topics. I'm all about uplifting people and not pushing people down. Right, like because I feel like the world should be about love and giving and support. So that's who I am.
Man, especially in entrepreneurship today, it definitely needs to be a lot more of pushing forward instead of pulling back. Like that
Right.
that crab in a bucket mentality has to go. And I
Absolutely.
feel like that.
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I say absolutely, and that's something I tell people all the time. Right, like life is so much better when you support each other and you uplift each other and not push each other down. Like you said, that crab in the bucket mentality. It's poison. It's a detriment, right? Like that's why I say I look at life as a detriment or a benefit, right? Like so if I feel like it's a detriment, I know how to distance myself from that, right? I'm about positive energy, right? Like if it ain't positive energy or positivity, I don't need it in my life, right? Because you will never prosper like that, right? It's like when you look at people in the hood, right? If you stay in the hood and you don't try to do nothing with yourself, you could become content, right, and stagnant, and you will never go nowhere. You can't prosper. You will never grow, right? You can't sit there and cry like, oh, all these misfortunes because look where I live, look what my surroundings is.
Yeah.
Okay, well now you're an adult. What are you doing to change it, right? So it's like if you don't like your surroundings, if you don't like your situation, do something about it. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
so
Exactly. It was a song, because I love Tink, but she put one of the little bars that she put in the song was good vibes mean everything to a boss. And I feel like those are definitely worth to live by because when you have the mentality of a boss, and I think a lot of times people can misunderstand the mindset when you're trying to master the mindset of an entrepreneur, and that automatically means you're the boss. So when you're trying to
mm,
master the mindset of being a boss, um you have to really highlight those good vibes and not really take take too much judgment to the things that you're not good at or that you're not doing the best, and in the areas that you could be performing better.
right.
And it would be really helpful is if entrepreneurs had a safe space to bounce ideas off of each other and kind of feed off of the next person's energy. Like
Right.
after for us, for example, after being on your podcast, it's like, okay, boom, now I'm charged up enough to go and do what I need to do and keep moving. And I feel like that's how it should be, especially within the Black community, because Black people don't understand that is how we rebuilt our own economic wealth amongst the Black community by keeping our support and our dollar within us.
Right. Absolutely. Right. And when you said your own boss, right? When we talk about that space of being an entrepreneur, right? It's a mindset. It's more than just you telling yourself, I want to be the boss or I want to be a boss, right? Because what is a boss without leadership? It's nothing, right? So you need that good support around you. And it's like when you have a team, right? Because a support system it's nothing but a team, right? Because we can't do it alone. So what good is a team without a good leader? Right? You don't have a good leader to lead the ship, in the positive direction, right? Then you have nothing at the end of the day. It's like if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, right? I know you heard that saying before, correct?
Right, yeah.
So it's the same concept. So when you talk about you want to be the boss, it's more than just a title. You got to own it, and you also got to be a leader. Even if you're just focusing on your own individual uh, business, right? You got to think outside the box because guess what? Once you have the business, you can't do it by yourself. Like me trying to run this food truck, right? You think I can take the orders and cook the food in a timely manner at the same time? No,
Yeah,
nobody's going to
that's
do that
not.
because you're going to lose clients that way. So you need a team. So you have to think outside the box, right? Being a boss is knowing how to lead and know how to navigate and know how to delegate. And these are tools that a lot of us in the Black community, we're not taught. But as we get older, it's about what you do, right? So you live and
Yep.
you learn in your life. So I've lived and I learned that you can't do it alone. We don't always have all the answers, no matter how many times we tell ourselves we do. So what I had to do is take a step back, self-reflect, and decompress. And I said, you know what? What's my next step? From there, I said, okay, I know where I want to go. Now I got to come up with these the building blocks of how to get there. Right? I'm not a man to sit there and say, well, I'm at A, I want to get to Z tomorrow. Nah, because you got to
Yeah.
crawl before you walk. So for me, vision board, planner. I thought I had my planner in here, but it must be another room. And I literally write in it every day. I wake up in the morning, get some coffee. I say, what do I want to accomplish today? Start jotting it down. And I don't try to
Okay.
focus on putting it in order because now I will run into another problem if I did that. Because then I'm now exhausting too much of my time and energy and trying to pick an order of what. Because sometimes things happen in life. So if I sit there and say I'm gonna do this first, do that, that's robotic. Now I do step one, and I'm like, oh, now this came up, and I got to do this, and now it's everything's disarray. So I don't worry about the order. I just put it in there. I look in there, and each time I do something, I cross it off. Boom. I accomplish this, I accomplish that, and it's good to have a planner. You want to talk about business minded. So
Yeah.
with the food truck, I understand that I got to get up in the morning, right? I gotta get myself together, gotta exercise a little bit, get motivated. Then I know that I gotta prep the food, load that on a truck. It's a process, right? And then you sell your food. And when you're done, you got to clean up. It's a process. So it's about being organized and being in order. That's what a boss is. Knowing how to manage your business. You can't say I'm a boss if you ain't got no managerial skills. Like what?
Yeah.
Then you got to look in the mirror and say, why did I lie to myself?
Yeah. Because as an entrepreneur, honestly, if you can perfect, and I don't want to say perfect, but if you can put energy into understanding how to be a good employee is a good boss because
Potentially,
because they have the work ethic. Like that, I
right?
feel like they will transition well into the work that it will require to be a boss. Because if you can't even if you don't have the discipline enough within yourself to show up at a time that somebody told you to,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to show up at that time if you don't want to. And you have nobody over you to, to hold you accountable. So
Right,
that's where it kind of gets into, kind of get those disciplines first before you leave out and go on your own. At least make sure that you understand the concept of being on time and delegating tasks, and like you said, successfully completing tasks before you just feel like, oh, okay, I can go off and do my own thing, because the discipline is not going to be there like it should be,
right,
especially if you're doing it from because now I feel like a lot of people are kind of in the, oh, I'm gonna just start something, something on my own because I don't want to have to come here anymore. And it's like if it's
right.
not a passion, you won't put all of the energy into it like you need to.
Absolutely. And so I just want to touch on something what you were just saying. I think that's a good mindset. If you have the discipline and you condition as in like an hourly employee and you're not the boss. But a good worker don't make you a good boss. Because you know why? You can be a good worker and now you're showing up to work because you want to get that paycheck. So it's like you have to show up. You're being
Yeah,
told show up or you don't have a job and you want that money, right? But now when you become a boss, now you ain't got that over your head. You the boss. You dictate when you're gonna go to work and when you're not gonna go to work. So being a good worker doesn't make you a good boss because that discipline, right? That discipline factor changes because now you're not told you got to show up. Now it's your choice to show up. You understand what I'm saying? Now,
yeah,
now, now, it's like more money, more problems. The more responsibility, the more headache it is, right? Because you don't have
yeah,
like when I was a line cook for X amount of years. um for 10 years, whatever, I didn't have to worry about inventory. I didn't worry about
Mhm.
food costs. I ain't had to worry about labor. I ain't had to worry about 1,000 different personalities to keep in check, right? Because that wasn't my role, right? So I dealt with everything in my realm of employment, which is just being hourly employee, make sure the food is out on time and stuff like that. But once I became a manager, it's different. I had hourlies come to me to, oh, you changed. I didn't change. Listen, I'm here to help you. My job is to support you in the time of need. My job is not to do your job for you. My job is
Yeah.
here to assist, not to work. Once you become a manager, it's like your job is no longer about busting my ass and sweating and slaving. No, it's not. Just make sure you guys are doing what you need to do and making sure I supply you with the necessary tools. All right. So imagine not having to worry about slaving, and now you get to delegate, right? And now you get laid back. And a lot of people, I think that's where they go wrong in their business. A lot of people, they let that go to their head. Oh, I'm the boss. I ain't got to do anything. Now in the
Yeah.
beginning, they're gonna rock out with the team because they want their business to flourish. And let's say your business takes off. Now you just sitting back. I've been in restaurants where the managers sit wine. Should you be drinking on the clock? No. They be sipping wine and be in the cut. And they get irritable because it could be the smallest thing, like a table want to talk to you, and they get mad. It's part of the job. You want to be the boss, be a boss. That's what's
Yeah.
being a boss. It's like when you have
Yeah.
kids, we are bosses because we
Yeah.
delegate and we dictate and we
Yeah.
manage that household. So that's what I wanted to add to that, man. Like, it's just determination, man. It's your willpower. It's what you want. You gotta really be a go getter. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
most definitely. Because one thing about it, there are good workers that are meant to be workers, and that's one thing that I think people really have to see, and that's something that entrepreneurship will show you.
Yeah,
Like going into entrepreneurship, you will learn about yourself if you're meant to be the boss or if you're meant to be the worker. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
nothing can flow without the other. So it's okay. Like once you find your place, you just gotta you gotta stay in your lane to a sense. But for the entrepreneurs, for the workers who know
Yeah,
that they've surpassed what they're doing, it's like that's kind of a very learning and pivotal spot for you to be, especially when it comes to mindset. Because I watch everybody and I watch how they do things, and my my thought always is how I would do it better. Like
right,
seeing what you do and then see how I could do it better.
right.
Like I
And
feel
that's
like
it. That's great, and that's a good mindset. Everything comes down to mindset at the end of the day. So when you talk about being an entrepreneur, that's what it is. It's about business at the end of the day. So all these
mhm,
corporations, these businesses, guess what they do? They do exactly what you just said.
yep,
They're scouting. They're scouting, or they might have a scout go out and do these things. You always want to see what your competitors are doing and how you can capitalize on that. With the
yep,
food truck thing, same thing. In the food truck community, they might stick together, but guess what? You don't think they sit back and say, what are they doing well? What are they doing so successful? And how can I incorporate that into my brand? Everybody do it. You
yeah.
know what I'm
It,
saying?
it, it is. Yeah, that's one of those things. Like when it comes to, but I feel like that is a great way to set goals for yourself and for your business, because a lot of people they don't really understand that when you're pioneering something and you're setting the standard for something, it's okay for followers to come behind you. Like it's one of those
Hmm.
things. There's so many different brands of bread, and all of them right there beside each other,
Hmm. It's crazy. It's
and
crazy.
it's
And it
like.
comes down to preference and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's what entrepreneurs have to understand instead of getting discouraged. So set your goals and plan your goals and be satisfied with simply just completing and achieving your goals. Don't worry about the preferences of other people, and if
Right.
you're not their preference, you're just not their preference. You just
Right.
have to continue to make your vision what you want it to be,
Right.
and the people that prefer that, because it's people that need it, obviously, because I feel like the idea was given to you, like
Right.
it's so you've seen the demand for it somewhere, and that's why you created it.
Right.
So it's kind of like focus in more on targeting those people. Like
Right.
make your target audience a big part of your goal and your planning. Figure out, make it a goal to stay on track with reaching them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing, you can get too caught up in looking. You can get too caught up in looking around and seeing, and you wind up not doing anything because you're looking for so long. And I feel like that was one of the things I struggled with for the longest when it came to just first actually doing everything that I needed to, because it's like you gather up so much information before you realize, okay, now it's time to move. Now it's time for action.
Right.
And that's one thing that I want to make sure to motivate entrepreneurs to learn as you go, but go. Like
Right.
emphasis on the go.
Right. Right. It like one of the things that we gotta pay attention to and we can't forget is the prerequisites, right? The prerequisites to anything in life is essential, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, when you talk about starting your own business or being your own boss or being the boss or however you want to word it, this is the thing. It's a thing called a business plan. Once you have your business plan, guess what? Your vision is there. Your building blocks is already there because you at that point you would have took the time out to write your business plan. So your business plan is constructed into 9 different parts, right? You got your
Hmm.
marketing plan, and what the marketing plan explains is your marketing strategy, your financial plan, and that talks about your financial plan. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these people that
Hmm.
I know personally, they say they're gonna start their own business. I'm gonna get a food truck too. They don't even have a business plan, so they don't even know A to C to even talk about getting to C, right? Like they have this
Exactly.
long term vision. They focus on the big picture, but not the small picture, right? How can you think big if you don't think small first? Now,
Yep.
baby don't come out the womb to sit there and say, I'm gonna take off and be a marathon runner. They gotta live and they gotta learn. Same thing. When you're an entrepreneur, you gotta live and you learn. And you never get too old to live. You never get too old to learn. Right. So it's the prerequisites, right? It's that vision board, it's that planner, it's that business plan,
Yep.
and that's things. Once you can do that, now you're moving in the right direction because you ain't got to worry about that. You was just saying how you thinking about the what's next, and you get consumed by it, right? And you was like, just focus on the go. And once you have that business plan, now you can really focus on that go because you
Hmm.
already got your business model, your business plan is already in place. So now you ain't got to worry about the struggles of that. You just got to keep pushing. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You got to look at the demographics and all that stuff, and that's how you excel in life. So it's crazy. When I was years ago, I didn't think like this. It's like trials and tribulations. You live and you learn. Now I'm more business minded, and I see the world through a different lens, and that's people we got to do. If you don't, anybody that don't self reflect, I feel like they behind the 8 ball. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to learn that, and that don't happen overnight. To sit there and be able to decompress and just self reflect, have some me time, and just own in on your priorities. It takes time. That's a
Yeah.
mindset in itself. You know what I
And
mean?
it's hard, and it is hard to sit there and judge, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to judge yourself. You have to weigh the things out and really know your strengths and your weaknesses in order to know where you need to improve. And that is why self-reflection is so important when it comes to entrepreneurship, and just having that mindset and being able to effectively plan and achieve goals, because you have to know yourself well enough to know what you can achieve on your own and what you're going to need help with. Like me,
Right, right,
as a entrepreneur, I know that I don't care the slightest bit to get caught up in any of the small details, any logistics, any I don't care about that. My business plan I pay somebody else to make for me. You ask me questions, I can tell you what it is and you write it out, cuz I that's money well spent to me, because I don't care to deal with the little meticulous details. I just know that I have a vision. I wanted a business. In order for me to get a grant, I need a business plan. You know what I'm saying? So I connect dots that way. Like I don't have a problem outsourcing to make sure that my business is one step closer to being what I need it to be.
right. Now, it's not
So
wrong with outsourcing, like, as long as you're kept in the loop, right? You have to understand
yeah,
and know
yeah,
what's taking place, right? Because If you don't, then you lose control of your own business. So
Yeah,
as
and
long as
that's
you're in the
definitely
loop, go ahead.
you definitely gotta pay attention there because the world is getting slimier and grimier by the day.
And one thing I want to add is this: we started to talk about it before we went live, right? Like another thing that's a big one for people that want to be entrepreneurs and want to start their own business. Make sure you get your things copyright written and patent, because I just ran into a situation where somebody's like, "Hey, somebody got the same logo and same name." I'm like, bullshit. They sent it to me. And I was like, this is crazy. So last week I had not last week, on Friday, because I this was like 2 weeks ago. Because when you get things copywritten in the US, it goes through Washington, DC. So
Yeah.
it, I contacted them. So they just got back to me on Friday, and they was like, as of now, it's nothing copywritten. So now this week, it's a priority. I'm going to print out the stuff today, and because I got to fill it out. It's a thick ass packet, and I make
Hmm.
sure I copyright it. And then anybody that I see that with, I'm shutting it down. I don't care what they
Yeah.
talk about. That's
And guess
another big
what?
one.
What's so messed up is you gotta get to it first. Cause if they get to it before you,
I'll be sick.
that's
I'll be sick.
man.
So another thing, and somebody brought this to my attention yesterday. And he was like, I wasn't thinking. My mind's a million miles a second, right? So I was coming up with a name for my food truck, and somebody texted me, and he was like, "Hey, you don't say it live, don't say it on air, because somebody can steal your ideas." All it takes is somebody's like, what, I like that, I fuck with that, and I'm gonna take it. So now I'm like, yeah, you're right, because it just happened to me. So I started writing, drawing up my own logos and stuff, and I so badly wanted to share it with the world, but I cannot fall for that again. But the thing is,
Hmm.
when I was doing it, I was out there bouncing ideas, just random people online on social media. What do you think about this? What do you think about this name? But I was not thinking about whether they're gonna like it or not. Because if they like it, how I know when I go to try to copyright it, it's already used, it's already copyrighted. I'm like, what?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, as far as the title, the logo, that's something I gotta do on my own. Maybe copyright a couple different ones and then pick from there. But that's another difficulty, because you talk crabs in the bucket. That's the world. That's the way of the
Yeah.
world.
And when you get into like your LLC, you even got to be careful with the formation of that because if they form the LLC before you can even get to the copyright, you're not even going to be able to have the name as the LLC. But that's why I like Zen Business so much because when I paid my money, I had like templates for so many different contracts. Like it gave me employment contracts, it gave me non-disclosures. So when I did work with people and I do tell you my business, I do tell you my ins and outs. You need to sign this because you can't take this nowhere with you outside of me.
Right. And what did you say you use? Zen what?
Zen Business.
Zen business. Okay. And tell me
Yeah.
exactly what that is, because I'm intrigued, because I gotta stand on my own, right?
Man,
I gotta
it's like an
take care of
all-in-one
business.
place. Like it asks you a bunch of questions about your business, what category it's in, the name. It run it through a quick little database to see if it's available or not. Then if it is, you know what I'm saying, it get you to go ahead. You get a registered agent. Um what else? Like I said, you get all the documents. It's a new document that they make business owners sign now called a beneficial ownership something. It's called a BOI report. They'll
Mm.
file that for you. I got my EIN. I got all of the contract agreement templates. Um, it even has its own like business account. It has another subscription that comes with it that's like $100 a month with that 1-800 accountant thing, but that's like that company is partnered with Zen Business. They'll file your business taxes. They help keep up with your expenses, so you can, when you file your taxes every year on your business, for you to get your refund back on the money that you spent. Like I like it. I personally feel like it's a good one-stop shop for people who already have their logos, the name, the business plan, to where you got this LLC, you get you a business bank account. Cause I'm a grant girly, okay? I'm not with no loans because I'm not trying to pay nobody no money back.
Yeah, I was just
I
looking up the website. They got two packages, the pro and the premium. So I was just trying to compare the difference. Obviously, with the premium, you get more stuff, but like premium support, business email address, AI website builder. Oh, that's nice. a
Yep.
domain name and privacy, business document, temporary library, ID required for to file taxes. I mean, yeah. So that I looked up because it's so. Is it a one-time fee or is it every year? Because I'm looking on here. It's
Every
for the
year.
one. It's okay. Yeah, it says 200 a year for the pro, and it says 300 a year for premium. But yeah, I
Yes.
definitely want to jump on this because I need it. And DeMarcus always talk about that legal shit. I might have to.
I'm gonna check them out too though, and I'm gonna see because he been on me about me
I
showing my
know.
fiance the video and stuff. I'm gonna have to get on there and really see what they talking about because I do feel like um especially since he said that's only like $40 a month. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then your then business stuff, that's a one time payment that you're gonna pay once every year. So I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like they would pair well together.
Right, right. And that's what I was trying to tell him. I feel like it's beneficial. I just like I wasn't in a rush to do it right now.
Yeah,
But like
that's why I'm there
the
too.
more
Like I'm not really
the more I do the business thing, work on my food truck and stuff. I mean, obviously, yeah, I would do it because I did a Zoom call, right, with the legal shield, and what I was explaining to him was, like, yeah, they said a lot of good stuff, right? It was knowledgeable and it was, what I'm saying, it was informative, but I was expecting a little bit more detail, right? And so what he was telling me is, to have a one-on-one because now I can get more information that way on a one-on-one because the Zoom call was only like a half hour. But it's definitely, when they was talking about like you get lawyers and stuff like that. Who wouldn't need a lawyer, right? So you ain't got to worry
right.
about doing 100 things where you could just worry about 5 things because you got a team that's worried about the other stuff. So, like I said, it is something that I would look into, but I had to worry about this other stuff first, right?
Yep.
And
Yep. That's
because everything
exactly
is
what I'm
money,
at too. Cause this marathon and then I'm working this 9 to 5. It's kind of like what in the world is going on? Like in my head, it's just like what in the world is going on? Like
right, right, right,
I'm everywhere.
right. But it's the lay of the land, though. You want to be a boss.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? People say you got to pay like you weigh. Like that's we got to pay with our souls and our time. That's it. Sometimes we're gonna be exhausted, but it'll pay off in the long run. As long as we got the mindset that we gonna be this. That's why I was telling you
Yep.
before. We do right. We don't try. We
Yep.
do. And
Yep. And like Sarah was saying the other day, that yet mindset, like, oh,
yeah,
my business isn't where I want it to be yet. Because I've already tried to stop doing like certain things like with the small business or whatever the case may be. Like on paper, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
right.
The IRS not gonna come to you and be like, oh, you owe money on your small business. No, if you owe money, it don't matter what type of business, how big or
Mm-hmm.
how small, you better pay them their money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's like a unneeded side of things that I feel like entrepreneurs should just already shy away from. Because if it was so small, you wouldn't have pursued to do it.
Absolutely. And this is another thing. Just because we call it small business, don't mean a small business. Because guess what? I don't know if you did the research, right? But as an entrepreneur and somebody who's about to start my own small business, this is the thing. We call it small business because it's not a corporation, right? But they're taking over. The small businesses are more profitable,
Hmm.
right? Like I looked at the census from last year. They said small businesses is right excel more than like these like food trucks and stuff. It's like night and day. It's no comparison as far as excelling and success between them and like a restaurant. And you would think that some people might say, well, restaurants make more money. Okay, well, it's a restaurant. You can fit. You got a walk-in refrigerator. You got a freezer. You can store more stuff. But for working in the restaurant industry, let me tell you something. Since COVID, things has changed. There's been a lot of closures with these restaurants. We just closed 3 down my way, and one of them's only been open for 2.5 years. Because you know why? Because the census also told me this: restaurants is closing down. They're losing business because DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, right? Because they're popular now. So people might be ordering from your restaurant, but in restaurants today, they make most of their money if they do catering. They get their money through catering, and if not through catering, it's all to go food. That's where they make their money. As far as dining in, people not doing that no more. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? For
Because
various reasons.
I went to a place where they are starting to include their gratuity in your price. Like,
Yeah,
nigga, who
yeah,
told you I had an extra 18% to pay you? Especially because honestly, I'm a person who just started tipping. I
yeah.
just started tipping like in the last year, going into this year. I was never a tipper because you apply for this job. And I don't care how much they paying you, they paying you. Like, that's not my issue, bro. Like,
Uh,
I that was my mindset. You know what I'm saying? But now it's kind of like I get it now. But I'm
That's
only 26. So from 16, from when I first got my money, because I'm looking at it like, nigga, I worked hard for my money too. I don't got no money to give you. Like, they already
yeah.
give me the money.
And,
So
you
it's
know, it's
like,
crazy because at one point in time I was the same way. I never tip. You know what? When I started tipping was when I got my first restaurant job, and I got a couple. I got two of my female friends at the time. I got them the job there, and they were servers. And you know, we hung out afterwards, and I was talking about my money. I got my paycheck. I'm like, what about you? We don't get no paycheck. I'm like, what you mean you don't get no paycheck? We work for tips. I'm like, well, how much you make? And then when I started seeing that, and that's when I had a different appreciation for servers. And ever since then, I tip. And not saying I'm rich or nothing like that, because I'm not, but I never felt comfortable with leaving my own tip. So I used to go to places like when I even now I go somewhere and the server, I'm like, not the server. If I'm with company, I'm like, yeah, put the tip, man. How much you want? Well, whatever you think is good. Just do it. Put a reasonable tip. And I do it like that because I feel more comfortable. I said, as long as they ain't talking about $100 or $1,000, some crazy shit like that. But that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, you just trying to flex. I'm not trying to flex. I don't be knowing, man. Like, because I have
see,
friends, and like I said, I've been in the restaurant industry so long, and sometimes you know how to give. They might say 12%, 15%, 18%, 20%. I'm like, damn, now you got me four options. It's multiple choice.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if I
yeah.
I
Me,
probably naturally I'm like 12%, but then you get the service and be like, this motherfucking food costs $150. They only let me 12%. So I don't be knowing what's good, and I don't always want to go for the highest. And then on the
I
downside, you
don't
got
care.
this.
You start at a five. You start at $5. You start
Well,
at $5, and
you
if
don't
you
do
want
percentage.
more than that, you better give me some good service. If you the
Well, that's true.
server and your tip is based on how good of service you give me, I'm paying attention to how much you come over here and check on me versus how much I see you checking on everybody else. How long
Now,
it take you to get my drink? How hard is it for me to get your attention? Like, because I've never had a restaurant job or nothing, but every year in my town they do this Mardi Gras event, and it's where all the big people in town, they come, they get drunk as hell, and you know what I'm saying, I be making good tips because I feel like I have good customer service just in general though. So I
right.
always, they gonna pay us $250 for the night, and I'm gonna come out with $200 in tips. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't
Yeah.
never came out with anything less than $100. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you better make me feel good. If you want a good tip, you better make me feel good. Because if not, you liable to get
Now,
$3 to $5.
now, I want to add this though. I think if you worked in the restaurant industry, I think that'd change your life. Because you know what I do? Being the compassionate, loving, caring man that I am, and working in the restaurant industry as long as I have, I understand that the struggles. I understand how many bad days servers have, and I know how easily it is for servers to get ticked off by a manager, an employee, or a guest, right? So even though sometimes I'll be kicking and screaming afterwards, even when I get bad service, I still tip well because I've had so many friends, and even when I became a manager, I know like sometimes a
Hey,
customer they could be in the
Allison.
wrong, they could be in the wrong, and they just curse you out or make you feel bad or try to belittle you. Now, guess what? Now it's stuck in your head. So now you're gonna carry that to all your other tables. So being the loving, compassionate, caring person that I am, I sit there and I look at life differently and I look at situations differently. I get bad service. Instead of getting mad, what I do is I say, you know what? I don't know what's going on in their life right now. Something might have happened to their kids, their parents, their loved ones, something like that. So I look at things like that, right? And that's what I was saying before, man. When I was talking to you in the markets, man, I think the world need more of that, right? That positivity. We
Yeah,
need to love on
because
each
I'm a
other
little bit
and
more.
support each other.
I'm a little bit more selfish because,
And don't get me wrong, I used to be like that, but
well,
growth. It's growth.
that too. But I feel like servers in a restaurant, I feel like it's a lot like CNAs in healthcare. So here's it. I be
Mm,
looking at it like I have, regardless of anything, I have a harder job than you. Okay, I'm rolling, I'm wiping, I'm bathing, I'm feeding. Ain't nobody in here tipping me,
right,
regardless of how bad of a day I have, and I still have to treat these people with respect and dignity. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have to do that, and I understand like the days that it's hard, but it's just something in me like, nah, you don't get no pass, cause I ain't do it to you. I that's one thing about me. I don't like that. I don't care who made you mad before. Don't bring that to me because I'm nice.
right.
I smile when I sat down. All that. You make me mad,
All
baby.
right, and so
Five dollars.
let me tell you that.
Five
Let me tell you
dollars.
this. I'm gonna see if I can change your mindset a little bit here. All right, let's say you got a best friend.
Yep.
Okay, so your best friend, y'all argue all the time, or for the most part, it's good.
No, no, we don't argue for dang. We don't really argue for real.
Perfect, perfect. So hear me out here. So you got a best friend. Now, what if one day is it a male or female?
Female.
So what if one day you call her up, hey, and everything, you in a good mood, and she's like, oh, China, not right now. I don't have time for your shit. Like you pissing me the fuck off, and you go off on the deep end. Now, which road are you going to take? Are you going to sit there and say, now this is not like my girl. This is not like her to act this way. Are you going to take that approach, or are you going to be like, be in your feelings, like, hold on, who the fuck's he talking to? Which one?
Who the fuck you talking to? Bitch, who pissed in
Even though
your
it's your,
Cheerios? Who
eh,
pissed in your
eh,
Cheerios?
even though, even
Who
though it's your
pissed in
best
your
friend.
Cheerios? Yeah. Especially my best friend. Bitch, who pissed in your Cheerio? Because you could have started the conversation with who pissed you off. So before you
You
give
tell.
me that who pissed in your Cheerio, because I didn't wake up with your ass this morning. What's going
Yeah, I see
on?
you. I see you a little tougher than I thought. So when that's where I said best friend, and I was like, y'all don't argue that much. So if it come out of nowhere, I thought you would be like, okay, something ain't right. But for you to sit there and say, oh fuck no, that's okay. Because I used to fire off like that.
I would check on her though, but it would be. But I feel like I could feel the vibe. Like I'm watching the waitress. So I'm watching. I seen that man be rude to you, and I seen, you know what I'm saying. I see it's busy. You the only waiter over here and stuff like. So it's like in times like that when I see you working hard
All
and
right,
that's affecting your service because you still coming over here and checking on me. You still, you know what I'm saying, doing the things that you're supposed to, and I'm watching. You know, I'm sitting
right,
down so I can see everything that's going on. I see how you move. So in those times, I am understanding. But don't let it
right.
be not enough people in here for you to come over to my table with an attitude. $5.
Yeah,
Five
yeah, I
dollars.
got you. So speaking about service, let me tell you my experience this morning. So I was hungry as hell, and this is the first time I ever did this. It was super awkward. I didn't like the feeling. I went and ate solo. This is my first time ever in my life just going out, just like
Really?
eat by myself. It's super weird. It's like I'm like, damn, I'm at the table by myself. It's super weird. So I'm eating this stuff, right? I had my food for 5 minutes. You know what my server did? Brought me the check and said, have a good day. I said, how she know I
No
ain't want
tip.
dessert?
No tip.
And I tipped her. And when I got in the car, I was like, this mother, I couldn't stand it. Right? I said, this, I should have cursed her out. I closed my
You
eyes. I
should.
said, you know what? I closed my eyes and I was like, I just smiled. I closed my eyes. I smiled. I said, I'm better than that. Right. And I take peace in that. Right. Like, if I feel like I'm better than that, I, if I don't like her behavior, how she treated me or just dropped the tip off, why am I gonna sit there and get all mad? I didn't do it. I got a good heart and I got nothing but positivity over here. So I just closed my eyes. I smiled and I'm like, let me carry on with my day. Communication. It says then it will be a different result.
Right.
So
I just put that on there because of right, Allison. You picking up what I'm putting down.
but that's what I did today. I did not like the situation, and the crazy thing is, then I went to the
But just
bathroom.
do that more. Do it more because it's kind of one of those things. Like I look at it, I like food and I like music. So
Hmm.
I'll go somewhere. I'll put my headphones in because when the food good, I get to dancing and eating. And I'm just so it's like
And you
It's kind of
and
like
so and you okay with
taking
that?
myself
It's
on a date. Yeah, I will get dressed up. I will romanticize the mess out of myself. I will go get me some flowers. I will go and get me. I will put on a new outfit. I will go to somewhere that I want to eat. I will order me a drink. I will eat like I will do the whole thing by myself because it's fun. Like it really is fun. Like I don't have to engage in back and forth conversation. I can listen to podcasts, books, music. You do it more often and you'll see what I'm talking about.
like, look, Shane, let me add this. So I asked for more coffee, right? She gave me a fresh thing. I took 2 sips and I went to the bathroom. I came out. Guess what was on the table?
You better not say your check.
Nothing but the check. And I said, I, s- I swear to God. And I was like, this got to be a joke. And I stared at her. I'm telling you, stared at her, mumbled under my breath, got in the car. I closed my eyes. I smiled. And I said, you know what? Carry on with my day.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good one talk because I was snap. Girl, bring my food
if
back now. Matter of fact, I want
if
it free because I didn't tell you I was done.
if if she's acting up and she's being negative, what good is it to me to be negative as well? Right? That's bringing negative energy, and I'm combating that with negative energy. I can't do it. I'm at that stage in my life. I just can't do it. It's because you know what?
I feel like
Negative,
Medea. Somebody do something to me, I gotta do something back. That's all
like
it is.
when you allow negativity in your life, it causes what? Right? Stress, and what is stress? It's unhealthy. So essentially, for me to act out of character in any situation, it's saying I don't care about my health.
Yeah.
And if I don't care about my health, if I don't care about my health, how can I say I love myself? Right?
And that's yeah, cause
So
man.
I love myself too much to let myself go.
And
So
that would have been
that's why I say,
bad because say, you as a business owner, this could have potentially been a place for you to network and actually build, like
mm-hmm.
build a rapport, a relationship with as a business owner, especially in the food industry. So yeah, that I think that's just still a little something in me with me being so hot blooded, I will say. Um I got like a
I
no
get it. But
BS
now
attitude.
speaking about, but listen, we talk about entrepreneur, right, and being a boss. How good of a boss are you where somebody tick you off, you act crazy? Remember you said you feel like you got good customer service. So what if somebody cursed you out? And guess what? When you don't think people watch you, you've been watched. So you spaz out on somebody because they was being rude to you. That's bad for business.
Nah,
Now
nah,
that
I've
person
already
might,
been in those type of situations. I know how to
yep,
politely
yep,
get you together. But
okay,
I'm going to get you together. But it will not be who
I
the
like that.
fuck
I'm
you
gonna
think
get
you
you
talk.
together.
It won't be what I want to say, but I will let you know, ma'am, you do need to lower your voice and watch how you're talking to me because that's not how I'm speaking to you. And if you do want to further this conversation, you will not be allowed to speak to me in that manner.
Right, and
But don't let
that's
me
what I
have a
mean. That's the point.
manager. If I have a manager, oh, let me go get my manager for you because I'm not.
Oh, oh, that's what I was saying. I was saying being the boss. If you're the own boss, ain't no get no manager. You are the boss. So now you gotta, even in shitty situations, you have to pull yourself together and you have to
Yeah,
assess the situation for what it is, and you gotta be able to handle it in a professional manner, right? And that's one of the
yeah,
things
to
when I became a
de-escalate.
manager. And when I first became a manager, that's one of the hardest things for me because I remember one instance when I first was a manager, like years ago, and it was this guy being racist and called me outside my name, and I didn't take that well. I said, "What you just called me, bro?" And he started going outside and everything. So I'm like, "We go outside," but then the moment his wife says you're gonna call the police, that's what for me. I said, "Do I need that kind of spotlight?" I don't.
Yeah,
So that's really the only reason why I didn't. But being a manager, I shouldn't have did that. I should have just went, listen, sir, either tone it down or I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. That's what I should have did. But immediately
yeah,
I got mad, like, what you just called me? So that's part of being a boss as well. You have to understand that everything is not gonna be peachy, right? You gotta understand that sometimes you're gonna have people that's rude, negative Nancy's, the nastiest, however you want to put it. And you gotta understand you gotta navigate through that in a professional way. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? You
And
can't
as an entrepreneur, it'll be easier, especially like for me and like younger entrepreneurs who have that quick snapback because we feel like like it's just like You know what I'm saying? So cause I
And,
feel like my generation is the generation of reciprocal energy. Yeah, we
mm,
don't talk like my generation don't tolerate that from elders. We don't tolerate disrespect is not tolerated amongst my generation. Like it's
I
really
do.
not.
I understand, but this is my question. I'm gonna pose to you. You want to be a follower or a leader?
I am the leader. I'm the leader.
So lead the pack, lead yourself, and then lead the pack. Because when you lead yourself, essentially what you're doing, you leading everybody that's around you. They're
Hmm.
gonna pick up on your vibes, pick up on your energy. Good vibes bring good tribes.
Yeah.
So you
I'm
just gotta keep
still
that
gonna get them
mindset.
together though. Still gonna get them together
And a
professionally.
productive, professionally man, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. So as far as we gotta as we get older, we gotta look at respect and disrespect in a different light, right? Because just look at everything as a positive, even if it's a negative thing, something that's bad in our lives. Just look at it as a positive, right? In the sense that, like, if say if you get a flat tire, you look at it like instead of saying I got a flat tire now, I got who knows when I'm gonna get it fixed, or it's gonna take me an hour. Instead of looking at it negatively, look at it positive, like it's gonna get fixed,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna continue to move forward and progress in life, right? And you might be like, oh, I have the money for it, so instead of exhausting all this time, energy into being mad, let
Worrying.
me
Yeah.
focus on what the necessities and what's required for me to fix it, repair it, and move on. Right, and that's how we
Yeah.
gotta look at life. It's a hard trait. It took me years to get to that mindset, but I feel better as a man. I feel healthier. And guess what? When I changed my mindset some years ago, I can't even tell you how long ago it was. I've noticed that a lot more people wanted to be in my circle. A lot more people
Yeah.
felt comfortable being around me because I used to scare people off, my anger and all that stuff. And I never understood them. Like, oh, you don't fuck with me? I'm like, nah. Or they might say, yeah, I do, but you can tell by their body language and their posture and their facial expressions that it's something there. It's a disconnect. So the moment I changed my mindset, I've noticed my support system blossomed, and just other people come to me for advice. And that's what made me that was my driving force of wanting to continue that mindset that I have is when people start coming to me for advice. I'm like, oh, me?
Yeah.
You coming to me for help and advice? And I love it because I'm a people pleaser at the end of the day. I always wanted to help people. At a young age, I'm talking about when I was like 14, 15, um, maybe even younger there, to be honest with you, I always said I want to help the world. I want to make the world a better place. I want to contribute to making the world a better place. I want to give back to the community. I want to give back to the less fortunate. And at that age, people was like, "That's not normal." But for me, it's like when you go through traumas in life, sometimes that's where your mind goes. Oh, but I like one day I want kids, and I want my kids to go through what I've gone through. And I don't want
Hmm.
nobody else to have to endure that. So when we ask ourselves these questions like why this and why that, or I don't want this, or this is bad, this is negative, and this is so hard, it was a hardship for me. When you start thinking like that, now you want to help other people and you want to give back, right? Like, and I commend anybody that gives back to the community, and when
Yeah.
I hear about it, I love it, especially when we talk about the black community, because we don't hear that a lot in the black community. So and I often say I'm pro-black, right? Like anytime in the black community somebody want to give back and they want to contribute, they want to put on a function or an event, I'm all for it. I'm one of the first ones to raise my hand. Like, how can I help? Because those things are good. Because like I said, good vibes bring good tribes. I want to be a part of a good tribe
Hmm.
because that's a good support system, right? It's a lonely road when you walk in the road by yourself. Sort
And
of like
you're
how I
meant
felt
to
when I went.
connect with you're meant to connect with people. So how you do it and actually making sure you can go out and help, that puts you in such a different, mindset or vibration for real, like a
Vibration.
personal vibration on the type of things that you welcome into your life because you meet so many different people from different walks of life
Mm-hmm.
in those processes of helping people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like this podcast, we both love doing it. I can see the passion when you're doing it, like you smiling and look, like, there you go. Like same thing for me. It's like, working the hours I was working, my social skills was in the gutter. Right. And doing this podcast, I'm connected with a lot of people. And I'm
Yeah.
now I'm able to talk to this one and talk to this one. It's different personalities and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And it reminds me that the world is not this small. The world is big. The world
Yeah,
is big. And that's why connecting with people, networking with people, socializing is important. You
it
know,
really
it,
is. It really is. It'll
it's
take you so much farther.
absolutely health wise, mentally, physically, everything. And you might say, how can it affect you physically? Well, if your health ain't good, guess what? Then your body deteriorates. So mentally, physically, and emotionally, having people in your life is important.
Because your health is
Important.
your wealth. Your health really is your wealth. And in closing, it's just really important for entrepreneurs to understand how to start their journey. You don't have to be exactly what you need to be to get your business going or to step out and become an entrepreneur and pursue what it is that you want to see yourself with and what you want to put out into the world, because I feel like that's one thing that all entrepreneurs have in common. We are just people who have something so big in us that we just want to give to the world because we see how it can help. And even though
Hmm.
we go through the ups and downs and the struggles of it, as long as we can find ourselves in a position to where we are networking and meeting with different people and doing different things, we have that avenue to create a safe space for each other. And I think that's
Hmm.
why I guess I really just wanted to highlight us today because, like I said, I know I needed a little bit of it myself. But I mean, what is your closing advice to entrepreneurs, even if you want to go like directly in the food business or just in general, whatever?
My advice: just do the work. Really, that's like so. Do the work and believe in yourself and never give up. Right, you got to be strong. Right, and you can't allow negativity. You can't allow adversity to bring you down. Right, as long as you believe in yourself, can't nobody bring you down. That's what I would say. That's my advice. That's the biggest advice I would give because everybody's path is different, right? Everybody got different avenues and different wants and different needs in life. So the most important thing I would tell people is just be confident and believe in yourself and don't let nothing tear you down. As long as you believe, you can achieve.
I like that. I
You
like
know.
that. And Allison said, keep your dreams alive. That's right, girl. That is right. That is
It's
right. That's one
absolutely.
thing.
You lose sight of that, you lose sight of everything.
Yep, most
You know.
definitely. Well, Enlightened Voices, this was a wonderful episode. We are about to close. Des, thank you for coming on. As always, I see more in our future anyway. So I'm
Absolutely.
sure we'll be back at some point. Um, y'all vibrate high. Have the best day you can create. Okay? Des, you gotta say
Uh,
something. You gotta say a motivational goodbye.
Motivation. It's
You
been
gotta,
great.
you
I
gotta.
mean, I wasn't prepared to give a motivational thing because I go on a whole tangent. So I mean, listen,
You're right.
just
You're
be
right.
great.
We'll work on
Be
that.
but
We'll
all
work
right,
on
I got you. Have a good
that.
day. We'll stay in touch as always.
All right.
All right.